Yes, it's Coldplay weekend in Dublin, and there's no shortage of pictures with a clever headline and a great action photo of lead singer Chris Martin on the front of the Irish Examiner. Purple rain, it says. That's the regal spelling, not a weather report. On page 3, we read that wonder of wonders, it's the state-run Iarnród Éireann that has seized the chance to ease costs for concert goers. Train staff are staying up all night, with a 12:40 special taking Coldplay fans Alex Butler and her mum Tracy safely back to Commons Road in Cork, thus saving them the €400 plus now being charged by price-gouging Dublin hotels. Separate, very intriguing housing stories in 3 different papers link up nicely today. On page 2 of the Irish Daily Mail, reporter Helen Bruce tries yet again, for apparently the second time this month, to stop ministers from fudging the figures about housing starts. It seems that a temporary waiver of legal fees during April triggered a headlong rush of builders filing papers of intent to build no fewer than 18,000 houses. A junior minister rushed out a breathless announcement about the total of 35,000 house buildings commenced already in the first 4 months of the year, a record, he proclaimed, and a staggering 91% improvement on last year. Not so fast, Minister, says the Mail. And the rebuttal comes from who? Some troublemaking shinner? Some pinko housing activist? No, Minister, from your pals down the corridor in finance. They point out that there's actually a very weak link between filing and actually building. And the Mail politely asks whether in future filing figures would continue to be announced as, lads piling brick upon brick. Apparently, Junior Minister Alan Dillon did not respond. Oh, by the way, that temporary fee waiver has been extended, says the Mail, so expect many a bullish pre-election prediction of tens of thousands more intentions to build as the paperwork to actually build mounts up in an impressive bunker on some junior minister's heaving shelves. But such empty promises may be inevitable, says John Fitzgerald in the business section of the Irish Times. There, the economist makes the startling suggestion that the housing tail may now be wagging the economic dog. We simply won't be able to grow, he argues, as long as housing lags so far behind our massive growth in population. If we can't fix housing, Fitzgerald reasons, we may simply have to slow down the economy. But there's good news for those with existing house mortgages, as the front of the Irish Independent promises a string of rate cuts. These will kick off, the paper predicts, with a drop of at least 25 basis points by the ECB next month. This is in addition to a downward calculation adjustment also next month and a further ECB cut around Christmas. The paper reckons on a typical monthly savings of between 30 and 40 euros before the new year. Wednesday's horrific murder of Tipperary chef Sean Brady in Kansas City continues to make the front pages, with both the Star and the Mirror splashing banner headlines about the 2 teens who've been arrested. Blasted by teen gang, says the Star, while the Mirror goes with gunned down, Sean, 44, killed by thieves outside his US restaurant. Also in the States, the crucial Kamala Harris-Tim Walz interview took place too late to make the papers, but the Irish Times has plenty of coverage of tensions between the US and China. One story on page 7 reports on the arrest in Hong Kong of 2 editors of the now-defunct Stand News. Chung Pui-Kuen and Patrick Lamb are the first to be convicted of sedition since the UK handover of 1997. The journalists had become trusted sources during the anti-government demonstrations in 2019, but they now face several years in a Chinese prison. Journalist Dennis Staunton is based in Hong Kong, and his report comes with an opinion piece in which he tells us that the verdict will have a chilling effect on everyone plying the editor's trade under the Chinese government's ever-watchful eye. And finally, there's a truly maddening problem of modern manners on page 27 of the Irish Independent. What on earth would you do if your office colleague gladly burned up your petrol, bumming a lift from you every single day? What's worse, this freeloader made a grand gesture with coffee and pastries, but has yet to cough up a single cent towards this highly convenient chauffeuring service. Well, the psychotherapists, workplace counsellors, and life coaching experts at the beck and call of Agony Aunt Katie Byrne are all surprisingly unsympathetic. Your fuel costs remain the same, whether you choose to drive her to work or not, says one, rather haughtily, I thought, while another suggests that the driver's proposal to charge €75 a month is simply her notion of a nice little earner. I think the solution lies with the freeloader, who should cough up a little bit more than donuts. Oh no, the paper says, and actually proposes a kind of punishment for driver and passenger alike. Both of you, a shrink sternly suggests, should consider taking the bus.